Hello everyone, welcome to this session. Hope you're all doing good. So in this session, we are looking into the mock test discussion for reasoning for IBPSRRBPO Scale 1 Prelims exam. It's an all India OMR based mock test conducted on 28th September 2025. Okay, right. Now before we go into the discussion, let us look into the the topics and what is the weightage of those topics in this. Okay, so what are the topics and the weightage that you are going to get for IBPS clerk, okay, for RRB, and also for IBPSPO RRB. Okay, and the duration of the section is 25 minutes. In both, the time you are going to get is 25 minutes. You will have 40 questions in them. So the most weightage you will have is with puzzles. So for IBPS clerk, it is anywhere between 20 to 25 questions. Okay. For IBPSPO, it is anywhere between 15 to 20 questions. Maybe 25 questions in 1 or 2 slots. You can expect. Maybe 25 questions in 1 or 2 slots you can expect. Okay. Then for the topics, sequences and set of numbers, set of words. Okay. So any one is compulsory. So any one of these topics is compulsorily given. That is, for clerical, you will have 4 to 5 questions, but you will not have them in your PO. You will have them in your clerical, 4 to 5 questions. Any one is compulsory, one among these sequences, set of words and set of numbers. 4 to 5 you can expect in your clerical, but in IBPSPO, no. And then we have is miscellaneous topics. Miscellaneous means you will mostly get individual questions. Like, for instance, how many pairs are there in the word, each of which has as many letters between them as they have between them in English alphabet. That is one. Or number operations you will get. If I add 1 to all the even digits and subtract 2 from all the odd digits from the number, correct? Then how many are repeated, not repeated? So those are some questions that you can expect. So that you can expect anywhere between 2 to 3. Here also anywhere between 2 to 3 questions for miscellaneous. Okay. Then we have coding, decoding, then direction sense, then we have blood relations, then you have inequalities, okay, and then you have syllogisms. So these are what we call as rotation topics. Means you will not get all of the topics. You will get, 2 to 3 topics combination. You will get questions. Okay. So in some slots, you will get coding, decoding, direction sense, no blood relations, no syllogisms. In some questions, in some slots, you may get syllogisms, coding, decoding, blood relations. So combination could be any of the rotation. So those you can expect anywhere between 11 to 12 questions in the clerical RRB IBPS exam, and here anywhere between 18 to 20 questions. So overall, you are going to get 40 questions and you have to answer them in 25 minutes. So overall is 40 questions. Understanding the point here? Okay. Right. So now let us also look into what is the strategy in going about for the questions. Okay. So first, your focus should be on sequences, set of numbers, set of words, and miscellaneous. First, solve those questions. Then go to these rotation topics. Solve those questions. Finally, come to puzzles. Puzzles should be always attempted after you attempt all the remaining questions. Understanding the point, so that you can cover these questions as quickly as possible, because these are very, small topics. You can cover them faster, quicker. Then whatever the time that is left, you make sure that you have enough time to answer the puzzles questions. So in the beginning, you cover these. First, you attempt miscellaneous, sequences, set of numbers, set of words. Then go for T's, coding, decoding, directions and blood relations, inequalities, syllogisms, cover them off. After everything is done, you go for puzzles. That is how usually a general way of looking into solving the questions when it comes to reasoning. Understood the point here? Okay. Right. So that is about the weightage and the strategy part. Okay. So now let us look into the questions that we have with regards to the mock test. Yes. Now it says these questions are based on the following information. He says a certain number of persons are sitting in a row facing north. So we do not know the exact number. The following information is known about them. Okay. Now he says D is 4 places away to the left of F. Right. So we have D 4 places away to the left of F. So you have F, then 4 places away to the left side means you leave a gap of 3. Fourth position you have is D, left of F. Then there are only 2 persons sit between F and G. So only 2 persons between F and G. So straight away I can have 2 cases. So D I can put on the left side of F, or D I can put on the right side of F. Only 2 persons between F and G. Correct? Okay. Then H is 3 places away to the right of the one who is immediate right of G. So H should be 3 places away to the right of the person who is immediate right of G. Okay. Person who is immediate right of G is this person, and H is 3 places away to the right. So H will be here. Now here, person immediate right of G is this person, and H is 3 places away. So H will be here. Correct? So H is 3 places away to the right of the person who is immediate right of G. Okay. Then next one, the number of persons to the left of F is same as number of positions to the right of B. So persons to the left of F is same as positions to the right of B. So in this case, persons and positions both are same. So to the left of F is same as right of B. Okay. So left of F is same as right of B. Okay. So we don't know where B is right now. So we'll come to that. Then there are 2 persons sitting between F and B, who means B is 4th to the left of A. So 2 persons between F and B should be 4th to the left of A. Okay. 2 persons between F and B. Now check here. 2 persons you already have between F and G. Now 2 persons between F and B. So on this side you put B, and B is 4th to the left of A. Now here you already have 2 persons between F and G. So you'll have 2 persons between F and B is 4th to the left of A. Now the earlier information what we had was number of persons left of F is same as right of B. Correct? Now left of F here you have 4 people. Right of B also here you have 4 people. The condition satisfies for now. But in this case, left of F you have 4 people, but right of B you have many people. But that doesn't mean this is false. You can add more people here also, because now right of B you have 3, 3, 6, 3, 9, 10 people are there. So left of F you already have 4 people, so 6 more people I can add, because we don't know how many people are there. Certain number of persons, correct? That doesn't mean this is wrong. We will have to confirm further. Okay. Now what else we have? Yes. Now the next one says C sits exactly between H and G. Okay. So C is exactly between H and G. So I will put C here exactly between H and G. So I will put C here exactly between H and G. That confirms the position. Now B is 2 places away from E, means you need to leave a gap of 1 person. So B is 2 places away from E. So B is here, 2 places away. You already have H on one side. On the other side, you give E. So here, on both of the sides, you do have position for fixing E, correct? And what else he says? D sits at one of the extreme. So D has to be at one of the extreme. So that means E will be here. So D should be at one of the extreme. Then in that case, I can rule this one out, because the number of persons right of B and the number of persons left of F is not the same, because I cannot add any more people. D has to be at an extreme. But in this case, it definitely satisfies. So this is going to be our final arrangement. And the total number of persons you have is, if I make a count, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Total 12 people are available. Yes, that is correct. Total 12 persons you will get. Sahib Mansoori, you are right. That is correct. Okay. Yeah. So now based on that, let's have a look into the questions. How many persons are there? We know there are a total of 12. Third option. Then what is the position of F with respect to C? Okay. So position of F with respect to C, I can say that it is immediate right side, right? So it is to the immediate right. Choice 1. Yes, correct. Then which of the following statements is definitely true? Okay. 2 persons between GC. No, there is only 1 person. D is to the right of C. No, it is on the left side. So not this, not this. F is exactly between C and H. That we can say. F is exactly between C and H. E sits at an extreme. No. A is to the left of E. No. Correct. It is the third option. Yes. Next, how many persons sit between F and H? Now, as you can see, both are adjacent to each other. So you can say the answer is none. Okay. Yes, it is none. Correct. Good. Then if I sits to the immediate right of G, okay. So if you have I in the immediate right of G, then how many persons are there between I and B? So we have 3 plus 1. Total you get 4. Correct. 4 persons. That is right. Okay. Then next one is, in each of the following questions, 3 statements are given followed by 2 conclusions. Consider the statements to be true even though they seem to be at variance with commonly known facts, and find out which of the given conclusions logically follows, disregarding the commonly known facts. So deductions, syllogisms. So only 1, only 2, either 1 or 2, neither 1 or 2, both 1 and 2. Okay, so let's see this. Yep. So here we have these statements, only a few. So only a few rings are bangles. So drawing the combined diagram. So this is how we can represent only a few rings are bangles. So this is only a few. So this indication you can make for only a few. That means there should be some rings that should never be inside bangles. That is the indication. So that you will know the difference between some and only some, because a few means some. So some means without the indication you will have where all can also happen. Only some, all cannot happen. That's the idea. Then all bangles are bands. So this is bangles. So all the bangles are bands, and no bangle is a bracelet. No bangle is a bracelet. So no means the overlap should not happen between the two. So that indication will help us analyze the movement of the circles when you look into the conclusions. Now look at the conclusions. We have some bangles are bracelets. So do we have any overlap between bangles and bracelets? No. Correct? So conclusion 1 is does not follow because there is no overlap between bangles and bracelet. Then some bands are not rings. Correct? See, these are some of my bands. These are some of my bands that are not inside rings. So it is a negative conclusion that satisfies. So because it is a negative conclusion that satisfies, we are allowed to take an alternate diagram and use a complementary pair. And what is the complementary pair for some bangles? Sorry, some bands are not rings. All bands are rings. Correct? So if I take that like this, all the bands are rings. Now, the movement of the ring is important. I have moved the ring circle like this. So what is it that we have for the ring? We need to check. So what do I have for the ring? This is the one that I need to satisfy. That is why the indication is important. The indication is important. So here, I cannot move the complete ring inside the bangle because that is not allowed. But I can move the complete bangle inside the ring. No problem. Because still, now see, there are some rings that are not bangles. So thereby, I am able to satisfy my complementary pair. Because I am able to satisfy my complementary pair, conclusion 2 also does not follow. So we have neither 1 nor 2 follows. It is choice 4. Neither 1 nor 2 you will get. Choice 4. Because I am able to satisfy the complementary. Okay, I am able to satisfy the complementary. So the given negative conclusion does not follow because the statements are still valid. Only a few rings or bands still are valid. So this indication will help you understand the movement of the circles. Can I move it inside? Which circle can I move? How much? That helps. Okay. Right. Then next one. We have, right, combined diagram. All insects are flies. Okay. All the insects are flies. Only a few insects are mosquitoes. So only a few insects are mosquitoes. So there are some insects that should not enter inside the mosquito circle. Then all bugs are mosquitoes. Okay. These are mosquitoes. All the bugs are mosquitoes. So that's the combined diagram we have. Okay. Right. So Abhinav, only 2 of. Okay, let's see. So now coming to the conclusions. First one says some flies are not mosquitoes. See, these are some of my flies that are not mosquitoes. Correct? So negative conclusion satisfies. Now because the negative conclusion satisfies, I am allowed to take an alternate diagram and go for the complementary. Complementary pair for some flies are not mosquitoes is all the flies are mosquitoes. Now see what happens if I take all the flies inside mosquitoes like this. Then which other circle is going inside mosquitoes? The insects also is going inside mosquitoes. The complete insect circle is going inside mosquitoes. Is it allowed? No, it is not. It is not allowed. Correct? See, because it is very clearly given here. Only a few insects are mosquitoes. All insects cannot go inside mosquitoes. So what is happening here? Unfortunately, the complementary pair fails. Now, because the complementary pair fails, the given negative conclusion will follow. the given negative conclusion will follow. So 1 follows. Now second one, all insects can be bugs. So can be means a possibility. Can all the insects be inside bugs? That is the idea. Okay. So if I want all the insects inside bugs, see, if I want to represent it separately, if I want all the insects inside bugs, you already have what? All the bugs are inside mosquitoes. Correct? But then conclusion, statement number 2 is very clear. Only a few insects are mosquitoes. But what is happening here? All the insects are inside mosquitoes. So this is a possibility diagram where you are unable to satisfy your, okay? Just a minute. I'm not getting the ring. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Sorry for that. So here, by taking all the insects can be bugs, I'm putting all the insects inside mosquitoes, which is not allowed. So it is not possible. So conclusion 2 does not follow. So my answer is only 1 follows. So choice 1 will be our answer. Okay. Choice 1 would be the answer for this, because possibility doesn't work. Right. Then next one. Now, a combined diagram. Okay, so I see some answers here. It is better if you put the question number also and then answer, because I don't know which question. Okay, so both cannot happen there. Sahib Mansoori, both cannot happen. It is only one. Okay. So yeah, that is for question 7. Only one can happen. Okay, then next one, we have some Romans are French. Some Romans are French. And he says no French is British. And all English are Roman. So this is the diagram we have. Now coming to the conclusions. Okay. Manju Vipin says none for 8th. Sahib Mansoori says neither. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Let's check that. So we have all Roman can be British. Right. So all Roman can be British. Unfortunately, cannot happen, correct? Because French and British will overlap. That definitely is not allowed. Very good. Conclusion 1 does not work. Yes. Then some English are not French. Right. See, these are some of my English that are not inside French. Okay. Then we need to see, because the negative satisfies, we take the complementary. Complementary is all English are French. Now, can I have all English are French? Yes. See, because you already have Roman and French overlapping, I can simply move the English and put it within the overlapping region. Correct. Okay. So I can put the English within here, so that my original relation also maintains. Yes. So this definitely works. So complementary satisfies. Now, because complementary satisfies, the given negative does not follow. Very good. It is neither 1 nor 2. Choice 4. That is correct. Choice 4. Yes. Okay. Then next one. Again, the combined diagram. We have some squares are triangles. Okay. Some squares are triangles. No circle is a rectangle. and no triangle is a circle. So no triangle is a circle and no circle is a rectangle. Okay, so those are the diagram you get. Okay, then okay, so Mansuri, can you explain me question number 7 again? You do have the recording. You can look it up, Mansuri, later, because we need to cover the questions in the limited time. So, okay, I hope you understand that. Okay, you have the recording. You can look into the recording. You will get the answer there. Okay. So here, the 9th one. Yes. So we have some triangles are not rectangles. Okay. Yeah, these are some of my triangles that are not rectangles. So negative satisfies. So we take the complementary. The complementary is all triangles are rectangles. So if I take all the triangles as rectangles, will I be able to maintain my original relation? Yes, that is not a problem because rectangle should be separate from circle. That it is there. So complementary satisfies. Now because the complementary satisfies, the given negative does not follow. Okay. Then the second one, some squares are circles. Correct. That also doesn't work. So this is again neither. Choice 4. That is again neither. That is correct. Manju Vipin, yes, you will get neither. Thank you. Correct. Okay. Now next, coming to comparisons. Say 6 persons, M through R, are comparing their marks, not necessarily in the same order. No 2 persons scored the same number of marks. The following information is known about them. Right. So let's see 6 persons comparing their marks. So we put them in the increasing order from top down, top to bottom, it is increasing order. First will be the top highest marks, 6 will be the least. Okay, now he says R scored the third highest mark. Okay, that's a direct one. So R will be put in the third position, third highest. Then N scored more marks than Q, but and or but refers to the first person, that is N, less marks than P. So more marks means above Q, less marks means below P. So N is above Q, below P. Okay. So we have N above Q, at the same time below P. Correct? Okay. Then further, neither M nor O scored the least marks. Okay. So neither M nor O scored the least marks. Right? Then O scored less than M. Okay. So we have O scores less than M. Then N did not score less marks than M. So not scored less marks means no person scored equal marks here. That is what he said. No 2 persons scored the same marks. So when he says not less than, then we will consider it as more than. Without this information, no 2 persons scored same marks. Without that information, not less should not be identified as only more. It could be equal also. Okay, that is how you have to interpret the information. Now, since here no 2 persons scored the same marks is given, N did not score less marks means N should have scored more marks. So not scored less means more marks. So N scored more marks than M. Okay, N has scored more marks than M. Then N scored 97, O scored 80. Okay. So N scored 97 and O scored 80. Okay, now check. N is the common person in both, correct? So below N, you have 3 people, correct? So below N, if you want 3 people, okay, and above N, if you want 1 person, then N has to occupy the second position. There is no other way. N cannot occupy the first position because above N you have P. And below N you need 3 people other than R, because If you take N here, then there are only two people, not possible. So it is Q, M, and O. And we know M and O cannot occupy the last, so it has to be Q. Then we know that M and then O. So M and then O. So that way we get our arrangement. Okay. Right. Yes. Now let's have a look into the questions. Who scored the least and the highest marks respectively? So least is Q, highest is P. So respectively he said, so first least and then highest. So Q comma P. Okay. Then if O plus Q is 125, okay. O plus Q is 125, where we know O is 80. So then Q has to be 45. In the same way, N plus M is 189, and we know N is 97. So that case, M is going to be, so if it was 100, it is 89. So 3 less than that. So 89 plus 3, 92. So Q scored 45, M scored 92. Now he's asking, then what is M plus Q? So 92 plus 45. So it is going to be 137, and that's available in choice 4. Okay. Then which of the following statements is or are definitely true, he says. Okay, let's see. P scored the highest marks. Correct. That is true. Now M scored the third least marks. Correct. That is also true. Then you can choose the fourth option. Both 1 and 2 above. Okay. Third option doesn't work. N scored more marks than P. No, P is the highest. Doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So then the next one is, in these questions given below, the relationship between different elements is shown in the statements. These statements are followed by two conclusions. Mark your answer as inequalities. Okay. Only one follows, only two. Either one or two, neither one nor two, both 1 and 2. Okay. So let's see this. Yeah. So now I need a relation between P and U, right? So where does it P to U? See, I have P to R and R to S. So equal to means I can directly write it as P greater than S, replacing R with S. Then you have S to V and V to U in the reverse. So that means you have S greater than or equals V greater than U. So everywhere you have greater than as common. So between P and U, you have greater than. So definitely one works. Correct? Then same way H and F. Right. Now we have H to S and then S to F. But when you look at S to F, you see that there are opposite inequalities, correct? That means you will never going to get any relation. So you can straight away say does not follow. So my answer is only one follows. So choice 1 is what we can say. Yes, okay. Then the next one, I need a relation between D and Y. Okay. So we have D is here. D is not there anywhere else. Okay. So D to E. Then do I have E anywhere? No. Then I have to go to F. Then I have F. Then F to R. And then R to Y. But the point here is, if I take from D to F, here itself, do you see that there are opposite inequalities? Then there itself, you will not get any relation. So further also, if you take from F to R and R to Y, even if you take, you are not going to get any relation. Okay. Yeah, only one follows. Yes. That is for the earlier one. Correct. Manju, Vipin, Sarvanan and Deeksha. Yes, only one follows. You get for the earlier one. Correct. So here we will not get any relation between D and Y. So that doesn't work. Now next, I need a relation from E to B. Okay. So I have now B is here, E is here. So I need a relation from E to B. So I have E to F here. Then we have F to R here, and then R to B here. So that is the relation I will get. Correct? But then again, if you look at E to F, you have greater than or equals. Then F to R, that anyway is equals. We can ignore it. But then after that, from R onwards, what do you have? Everywhere you have less than. But if everywhere you have less than, okay, so I have E greater than or equals F. Now in place of F, I will replace with R because it has an equal to. And after R, everywhere you have a less than. So again, what you are getting here? Opposite inequalities. That means you will not get any relation here. Yes, very good. Manju, Vipin and Saravanan, neither works. Correct. So choice 4 is what we get. Neither 1 nor 2 works. That is correct. Yes. Okay. Then next. Now we have a relation from Y to R. I need a relation from Y to R. Okay. Now check here. I have a relation from Y to T. So less than is common, means when I reverse it, greater than is common. So I'll get Y greater than T. And then here from T to R. So here also greater than or equals R. So greater than is common. So you will definitely get Y greater than R, which is a perfect match. Then V to P. Okay. So V to P is yes. Now here I have V to T. So less than is common. So I'll get V less than T. So V to W, W to T we have. And then from here, T to P. So everywhere is reverse. So when you reverse it, it will be less than. So you have from T less than or equals, S and Q are equal. So I'll replace it with only one S and then less than P. So everywhere I can say less than is common. So from here we get V less than P, which is also again a perfect match. So yeah, we will have both 1 and 2 follow. You will get both 1 and 2 follow. Correct. Saravanan, you're right. Both 1 and 2 follow works. Good. Okay, next, one more. So C to K, I want a relation. Okay. So check here, from C to F you have, and from F to K you have. So anyway, F equals K is there. So here we have F. So I'm putting the same F here. The F equals K is there. So here itself, I can replace it with K. So from C to K, so I can replace a D with C, and for the remaining greater than is common. So between C and K, you should get greater than, which is not a perfect match. I hope everybody is following that. Yeah. So that is how we need to do this. You don't need to write the complete ones. Then and there, up until what you have, make a connection, try to reduce it, and then make the connection. Then between B and H. Okay. So here, yes, the same thing. I can go from B to F and then F to H. That is how I get. Now from B to F, I can get a direct relation. So what do I get from B to F? So equal to, anyway you ignore. Greater than is common. So you have B greater than F. Then from F to H in the reverse, again greater than is common. So F greater than H. So between B and H, you will definitely have greater than, which is a perfect match. So I am going to get only 2 follows as the answer. Correct. Saravanan, Manju, Vipin, Diksha. Very good. Only 2 follows. Works. Yes. Okay, good. So those were your inequalities. Right. The next one. 8 persons live in a 4-storied building. Each floor has 2 flats, flat 1 and flat 2. Flat 1 is to the west of flat 2. Then ground floor is considered floor 1, floor which is immediately above ground floor is floor 2, and so on. Each flat is built in such a way that flat 1 of floor 2 is immediately above flat 1 of floor 1, and so on. The following information is known. Correct? Right. So let's see. So we'll go to the information, but first let's take the floors and then the flats. Okay. Now A lives on an even numbered floor. So even number, basically you have two even numbers, 2 and 4. So we'll check further. So A has to be even floor. E lives immediately below the floor on which A lives. So E is immediately below the floor. So it need not be in the same flat number. Correct? And lives in flat 1. Okay, so E has to be in flat 1. Okay. And then he says C lives 2 floors below the floor on which E lives. C and E live in the same numbered flats. So 2 floors below means you leave a gap of 1 floor. And then you put C. So C also will be in flat 1. So from this, it is very clear that this even number cannot be second floor. The only even number now available is the 4th floor. So that is what we have to consider. So straight away we get 2 cases because I don't know which flat is A. So we will consider both the cases. Okay. So one we take A here, then E here and C here. Now in the other case, I will take A in flat 2 of floor number 4. Floor 4 is fixed for A. But and C will be fixed in the same flat and floors in both cases. Okay. Right. Then either B or A live to the west of the flat in which D lives. So either B or A should be to the left. West is left side, correct? Of the flat of D. So D definitely, so this is flat 1. This has to be flat 2 compulsorily. So D has to be in flat 2. Okay. Then F lives on an even numbered floor but does not live in flat 2. Means F has to be in flat 1. Okay. So F is even floor and flat 1 compulsorily. So even floor and flat 1, the only position available in the left side case is you put F here. But in this case, you can definitely have F either here or here compulsorily, not in flat 2. It has to be flat 1. So either F there or here. Okay. Then further, let us see what else we have. H does not live on an odd numbered floor. So H should also be on an even floor. H should also come on an even floor. H lives above the floor on which B lives. Okay. So again, he's talking about the floor. So H has to be above the floor of B. So floor of B. Okay. So H also should be even number. Okay. And above the floor of B. So if H has to be even number and above the floor of B, then definitely in the first case, both H and B has to occupy flat 2. If H and B are occupying flat 2, according to this information, either B or A should be west of D. So then B cannot be west of D. B is not going to come in flat 1. So what we can take here is you put D here so that A comes to the west of D. That is there. Now H has to be on an even number floor and above B. Okay. So that way you can have 8 persons arrangement here. Now what about here? Let us check. Now H has to be on an even number floor. So if again H has to be on an even number floor, then H has to be above B. See, you can have H here, here, even number floor, flat 1, or here, flat 2, even number floor. But where will B come? B will has to occupy flat 2 only. Are you understanding the point? So B has to definitely occupy flat 2, either here or here or here. It depends on where H is. H can be here or here or here. But the thing is, look at both A and B. They both are coming in flat 2. But then, will I be able to satisfy this information? Because it is very clear that either B or A should be west of D. I will not be able to do that. Correct? So, you don't need to worry about this arrangement because it is never going to satisfy my condition. Because both A and B are coming in flat 2. Never comes in flat 1. So, this is the only arrangement that we will continue with. Okay, Sarvanan. Yes, you have given the arrangement. Correct. Okay. So, that's the thing we get. Good. Now, let's have a look into the questions. Yeah, this is the final arrangement. Now, who lives in flat 2 of floor 3? Check flat 2 of floor number 3. The person is G. Then questions is fine. Direct questions, you have the arrangement, you will get your answers. That's not a problem. So, on which floor does B live? So, B lives on floor number 1. So, choice 1. Then who lives immediately above the flat in which C lives? So, C is in flat 1, floor 1. Immediately above the flat is F. When he says immediate above the floor, it could be F or H. That's the difference. Okay. So, it is F. Choice 2. Correct. F. Very good. Then which of the following is definitely true? D and B live in flat 2. Correct. Both D and B are living in flat 2. So, choice 1. You don't have to check the others. C lives in flat 2. No. F and B on the same floor. No. D in a flat immediate above the flat of H. No. So, yeah. Choice 1 works. Correct. Choice 1 is the answer. Okay. Then if in a certain way F is related to C. Okay. He says F is related to C. How is it? So, F is here related to C. So, F is immediate above the flat of C. So, in the same way, G to H, same. G is immediate above the flat of H. Now, following the same, who is related to E? So, we now know that E is here and immediate above the flat of E, you have is A. And that is the option we choose. Correct. Choice 4, A. That is right, Sarvana. Okay. Yeah. So, coming to the next. Yes. Now, this is directions. Now, it says Rahul starts from point A and walks 3 meters towards the west. Okay. So, it starts from point A. So, let me take the start point here and walks 3 meters in the west direction. West is left side. Then turns left and walks 4 meters. So, turns left means towards the south, correct? And walks 4 meters. Okay. ओके ठीक है अभिषेक, अगर आपको लगता है ऐसा क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में नहीं आता है तो वेल एंड गुड. ओके, बट हमारा ड्यू डिलिजेंस ये है कि पढ़ा देना है जो भी मॉडल है रेगुलरली. करेक्ट? ओके, राइट दीक्षा. All right, you have given some answers there. Yeah. Then next one. Then walks towards the east and walks 5 meters. Now walks towards east. East is right side and walks 5 meters. Now here you have only 3. So now it has to be 5 meters. So 3 and 2, total 5 meters in the east. He walks. Then and turns right and walks 2 meters. Okay, turns right and walks 2 meters means right is south. Turns right and walks 2 meters. Correct? Then turns to his right and walks 12 meters to reach B. Then again turning right. So from south, right is our left side, west side. Now 12 meters to reach B. Okay. Now here, this is only 5. Another 7 more. So total is 12 meters to reach the point B. Okay. So this is the start point for a person. Who is that person? Rahul. Okay. So this is Rahul, start point. Okay. Then further, then turns left and walks 3 meters. Okay. Turns left and walks 3 meters. Left is again down south. Walks 3 meters. Finally walks 6 meters towards east. Okay. Finally walks 6 meters towards east. 6 means take the distances correctly. Stop before this 7 line. So 6 meters towards east. East is our right side. Okay. Now, we are talking about a different person. Ramesh starts walking 4 meters towards north from B. Okay. So now, sorry. This is going to be the end point for Rahul. That is the end point we have for Rahul. Okay. Now, let's take Ramesh starts walking 4 meters towards north from B and walks further 2 meters towards north. Okay. So first he walks 4 meters towards north from B. So 4 meters means, see here, this is 2. So you pick another 2. That means the midpoint of here. So first he walks 4 meters. Then further he walks 2 more meters. Further he walks 2 more meters. So total 6 meters. Correct? So Ramesh starts walking 4 meters towards north from B and walks further 2 meters towards north. Then turns left and walks 5 meters to reach G. Turns left and walks 5 meters to reach G. Okay, turns left and walks 5 meters to reach the point G. Okay. Then finally turns to his right and walks 7 meters and stops at point C. So turns to his right, okay, and walks 7 meters and stops at point C. Right. So right is above, turns right 7 meters. To reach the point C. Okay. So that's the information we have. And the starting point, what we had, Rahul starts from point A. Okay. So this is the start point, which is A. We have. So that's the total information. So now, based on this, let's have a look into the questions. Okay. Abhishek, मैंने previous year question देखा था वहाँ. Okay. All right. So this is the diagram that we got. So let's see. Now, in which direction is A with respect to C? So in which direction is A? A is in which direction? From C. So downwards is south, right is east. So we will definitely get our answer as southeast. Correct. Is southeast. Yeah, choice 4. Sarvanan, Manju, Vipin. Yes. Then what is the distance between the starting points of Rahul and Ramesh? So distance between the starting points of Rahul and Ramesh. So starting point of Rahul is A. So starting point of Rahul is A. And starting point of Ramesh is B. So is asking what is the distance between approximately. So what is this distance? He is asking. Okay. So we need to take the right angle triangle here. So the vertical distance is 4 plus 2, you get 6. And the horizontal distance is out of 5, you have to remove 2. That means out of 12, if you remove 2, you will get 10. So it is under root 10 square plus 6 square. 100 plus 36, 136. So under root 136, which is near to what? Under root 136. Under root 136 is near to 13 square is 169. No, 12 square. So 12 meters approximately we can consider as the answer. Okay, 12 meters. Okay, next, what is the shortest distance between point A and point G? Okay, between A and G, he's asking what is the shortest distance. See, we know this is 4 and 2, total is 6. This is also 2 and 4, total is 6. So that means they are in line. So what is this total distance you have between A and G? He's asking. It is a horizontally straight line. So we have from here onwards, you remove 2, so 10. So 10 plus 5 total you get is 15. So the answer to this is 15 meters. Yeah, choice 2, 15 meters. Okay. Then coming to the next, we have is the 10 persons purchased pens one after the other, not necessarily in the same order. Following information is known about them. Okay. So we have to consider ten people. They have purchased pens one after the other. So we need to see what is the order in which they have purchased. Okay. So now he says only 3 persons purchased pens after G. So only 3 persons after G. So obviously G has to be given in the 7th position. Then 2 persons purchased pens between G and H. Okay. 2 persons between G and H. So obviously you can have H either above G or you can have H below G. 2 persons between G and H. So 2 cases we will get. Okay. Then no person purchased pens before P. So P obviously is going to be the first person to purchase. Then J purchased pens immediately before H. Okay, so J is immediately before H. So in both cases it is possible. Correct? Then the number of pens who purchased before J is same as number of persons who purchased pens after I. So before J is same as after I. So J is third from the top, you put I third from the bottom. J is second from the bottom, you put I second from the top. That is how the condition satisfies. Okay. Then 2 persons purchased pens between L and K. Who means it is K, purchased after G. So 2 persons between L and K purchased after G. Okay. So 2 persons between L and K purchased after G. Yeah. So L and K purchased after G. So L and K purchased after G. So in both cases, we can have L and K positioned. Then N purchased pens immediately after L. So N is immediately after L. Now, unfortunately, it is not working out for us in the first case. N is immediately after L, works only in the second case. Correct? And then finally, we have O purchased before M. So O purchased before M. So that gives us our arrangement. Yeah, okay. All right. That is the arrangement we get, Sarvanan. Yes, correct. Okay. Yeah. So now, based on this, questions. How many persons purchased pens before L? So before L, you have 4 people, choice 4. Then who purchased pens immediately after M? So immediately after M you have is L. So third option. Correct. L. Then in a certain way, O is related to K. So O is here, K is here. As you can see, they are positioning same from both ends. Third position from both ends. Then same way L is related to N. Again same. Fifth positions from both ends. Then following the same, who is related to M? So fourth here and fourth here. So the person I am looking at is G. So fourth option. Okay. Then 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way and hence form a group. Find the one which doesn't belong to that group. Okay. So we have PM. So in between there are 2 people. Okay. So in between I can see that there are 2 people. Then ON also you have 2 people. Okay. So PM you have 2 people. ON also 2 people. LK also 2 people. IJ, yes, IJ you have more than that, and GH you have 2 people. So yes, so I have got my answer. It is IJ. Remaining all have 2 persons in between. Then who purchased pens before N and after O? So before N and after O, these are the 2 people, M and L. So that is available in the third option. M and L. Correct. M and L is right. Okay. Then next is we have blood relations. So H is the only child of his or her parents. F and H are married. Okay. So F and H are married. So still the gender is unknown. But the next information says F is the only brother of A. So F is the only brother to A. So F is a male. So H has to be a female. So F is a only brother to A. So they are siblings. Whose means A's only child is G. So A's only child is G. A has only one child, that is G. Then B, who is unmarried, is G's uncle. Okay. B is unmarried, is G's uncle. Okay. So here we have F is one uncle. So B should be unmarried, but here F is married. So B should be unmarried and he is G's uncle. So it is on the other parent's side. So B is unmarried. So uncle is male. So G's uncle. Okay. Then there is a continuation. Whose means that uncle's only sibling is E. So that uncle's only sibling is E. That B has a sibling here. So I can put E. Correct? Okay. Then what else? We have D is the sister of C. Who means C is the son of H. See, H is here. C is a son to H and D is a sister to C. Okay. And further, E is F's niece's father. So E is F's niece's father. So who is F's niece? Now see, niece is what? Siblings' daughter. And we know G is the only child of A. So G will be identified as that niece. So F's niece's father is who? E. Then A will be the mother. And that way we have our arrangement. Okay. Yeah. So let's have a look into the questions. Now, how are A and H related to each other? So how are A and H related to each other? So they are related through a marriage and both are female. So we will say it is sisters-in-law. Because H has a husband, husband's sister, sister-in-law. A has a brother, brother's wife is also sister-in-law. So sisters-in-law. Okay. Then next, who is F's niece? We know there is only one, that is G, first option. Then what is the ratio of male to that of female members in the family? Okay, male first, then female. So we have F, E, B, C. So there are 4 male, and H, D, G, A. There are 4 female. So yes, 4:4 is 1:1. Okay. The next one is we have 8 persons sitting around a square table in such a way that 4 of them sit at 4 corners of the square table, while 4 sit in the middle of each of the 4 sides. The persons who sit at the corners face towards the center, while those who sit in the middle of the sides face away from the center. Okay. And then we have the information. So 4 people at the corners face the center, and 4 people who sit in the middle of the sides face away from the center. Okay. Now coming to the information. P sits third to the right of S. S faces away from the center. Okay. Third to the right of S. And S is away from the center. So first, second, third. This is P. Clockwise direction for away from the center is right. So then further, Y is an immediate neighbor of neither P nor S. Okay. So Y is an immediate neighbor of neither P nor S. So Y has to occupy one of these 2 positions. So immediately let us take both cases. Corners face the center and middle of the sides face away. So we have S, we have P, we'll put Y in this position, then we'll put Y in this position. So these are the 2 possibilities we will check. Okay, because those are the only 2 positions where you can have Y. Okay, further, what he says, R sits third to the left of T. R neither sits in the middle of any of the sides nor sits adjacent to Y. Means R has to be at a corner, okay, but not adjacent to Y. Okay. So R has to be at a corner, not adjacent to Y. So you can have R in these 2 corners, not adjacent to Y. Now these 2 corners are not there for R because it is adjacent to Y. So the only position for R is here. But in this case, you have 2 corners, but R also is related to T, like here. See, R is third to the left of T. Okay. Now, since R is here, left is clockwise, third to the left. But if I put T here, it is second to the left. If I put T here, it is fourth to the left. So that means the T cannot be at a corner. You can have T at a side. See, I can put T here so that facing away from the center, anti-clockwise direction is the left side. So first, second, third. R is third to the left of T. So T, we don't know which direction he's facing. So you should not assume that it is facing the center. Correct? Right. Now, in the other case, if I have R here, then I can have T here. So third to the left. If I have R here, I can have T here. It is again third to the left. Okay. So both positions are available for us. Okay. Then further, what we have, only one person sits between W and P. So only one person you already have between P and Y. Now you have W and P. Now here, yes, you can have W here. Only one person between W and P. Okay. Now since W is already fixed at one corner, the only other corner now is R. And then you can have T here. R is third to the left of T. That way we can fix this. Okay. Further, what he says, X is not an immediate neighbor of Y. Okay. Now check here. Unfortunately, both the positions that are available are immediate neighbor of Y. So this arrangement is not valid anymore because you cannot have X in both the positions. Now here, X is not an immediate neighbor of Y. Correct. The only available position is here. You can have X. Here you cannot have X because it is adjacent to Y. Now who is the remaining person? Q. So you put Q. That gives us our final arrangement. Okay, all right, Saravanan. Good. That is correct. Okay. Now, let's look into the questions. Yeah, this is the final arrangement we have. Now, who sits second to the right of R? Okay. See, R is facing the center. Second to the right. Right is anti-clockwise. You have is Q. Choice 2. Then how many persons sit between P and W when counted to the left of P? So left of P is clockwise direction of P. Between P and W, there is only one person. So first option. Okay. Then who sits fourth to the right of X? So X is here facing away. Right is clockwise. So first, second, third, fourth. So it is Y. So third option. Yeah, that is correct. Then 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way and hence form a group. Find the one that doesn't belong to that group. Okay, we have WPRTQ. So WPRQ, as you can see, they all are at the corners, whereas T is different on a side. So that is what we pick as our answer. Correct. It is T. Yes. Okay. Then next, 37. How many such pairs of letters are there in the word breakable, each of which has as many letters between them in the word in both forward and backward directions as they have between them in the English alphabetical series? So you take the word breakable and see how many pairs you get in both forward and backward directions. So we simply have to start counting the alphabets. So from B, if I start, after B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, none of them. Then after R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. Then with E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Then with A, B, C, D, E, F. With K, L, M, N, O. With A, here you have one pair, A, B. Then C, D, not there. Then L, M, not there. So in the forward direction, you have one pair. Now in the reverse, from E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, not there. Then with L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. See, from L to R, you get one pair, right? Then we have with B, C, D, E, F, G, H, not there. With A, B, C, D, E, F, not there. With K, L, M, N, O. With A, B, C, D. With E, F, G. With R, S. So in overall, I'm only getting two pairs. And that's available in the first option. Yes, that is correct. Two pairs. Okay, next. If 1 is added to each even digit and 2 is subtracted from each odd digit in the number. Okay. So in this number, for every odd digit, you subtract 2. So 9 minus 2, you have 7. Then 4 plus 1 is 5. Then 5 minus 2 is 3. Then 3 minus 2 is 1. Then 8 plus 1 is 9. Then 9 minus 2 is 7. Then 3 minus 1 is 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. So this is the one. Now is asking, then in which of the following digits will appear at least twice in the new number thus formed? So how many digits are appearing twice in the new number thus formed? He is asking. Okay. So we have 1 for even digit. So 4 plus 1, 5. Then 8 plus 1, 9. And then, so we have 4, 8, and 6. So 6 plus, 7. My bad. The last one was 7. Only 1 should be added, no? So 6 plus 1, 7. And then odd digits, you subtract 2. So 9 minus 2, then 5 minus 2, then 3 minus 2, then again 9 minus 2, and 3 minus 2. Okay, 3 minus 2, you have is 1. Yeah, so at least twice, now you know. So 7 is repeated and 1 is repeated. So it is only 7 and 1. Only 7 and 1. Yes. Correct. Choice 2. Okay, the next one. If it is possible to make a meaningful word with second, fifth, sixth, and eighth letters of the word. So second is L, then 3, 4, fifth is M, fifth is S, sixth is M, and then eighth is T. So we have LSMT. Now, is it possible to make a meaningful word using LSMT? And he says, using each letter only once, write the third letter of that word from the left as your answer. Means if you are able to form only one word. If no such word can be formed, mark the answer as Z. More than one, mark the answer as Y. Now here, I don't think you will be able to form any words using LSMT. So we choose Z as our answer. Correct. Okay. Then, yeah, 40th one. He says a certain number of persons are standing in a row facing north. Now, Amrita is the 10th from the left hand. Okay. So you have Amrita 10th from the left hand. So there are 9 people before her. Then 5 persons stand between Mukul and Amrita. Now 5 persons between Mukul and Amrita, it can be okay. So 3 plus Mukul plus 5 plus Amrita, this is 1, or 9 plus Amrita plus 5 plus Mukul. Either this or that. Okay. So yeah, we have 5 persons standing between Mukul and Amrita. Mukul is the 10th to the left of Arjun. Okay. So Mukul is the 10th to the left of Arjun. So here 10th means in between you need 9 persons. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then this is Arjun. Here 9 persons and Arjun. 10th to the left of Arjun. Now Rohit is 5th from the right end and 7th to the right of Amrita. Okay. So Rohit is 5th from the right end and at the same time 7th to the right of Amrita. Okay. So 6 people. Then we have Rohit. 7th to the right of Amrita and 5th from the right end. So 4 people. So obviously I can rule out the below one. It is not going to happen. So the above one works. So we have Amrita, 3 plus 1, 4. Plus 2, you can have this 6 people. Then you can put Rohit. And then you can have 4 people. So this is going to be our final arrangement. So we have 3 plus 1, 4. Plus 5, 9. Plus 1, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. Plus 1, 16. 16 plus 5 total you get is 21. So that is going to be our answer here. He is asking how many persons are standing in the row. Our answer is going to be 21. Yes, that is correct. Sarvanan, 21 works. All right. So that concludes our session on the reasoning. So hope whatever is discussed is understood, clear. Okay. So once again, before we complete the session, I wanted to reiterate the strategy. First, finish off all the topics, all the questions from the topics that are not puzzles. Start with miscellaneous, then your, set of numbers, set of words, sequences, then cover your other topics, coding, decoding, symbols, notations, whatever the topics that are available. Then do it as quickly as possible so that you can have enough time for sitting and working on the puzzles. So you need to strategize it, work on that plan, practice on that plan, then definitely you will get through. Okay, so that is about it. Correct, Sarvanan. Yes, miscellaneous. Then you have sequences, set of words, set of numbers, that, and then syllogisms, coding, decoding, blood relations, directions, all those. Finally, you come to puzzles. Yes, correct. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you. Goodbye.